다자호 환희 쇼군 Not Tuah 보기 대결신 기지 워시 주지ren Jesse the RCCG. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Not Tuah podcast. I'm your host and this is episode 24, right? I believe it is. I probably should have checked before starting the recording. I'm 99% sure that this is episode 24, but it's best to get that the 1% kind of off your chest in a way. Okay, while this stuff is loading, it is currently 11 a.m. on the 22nd of March 2025 Indian Standard Time. Okay? Indian Standard Time. I'm not entirely sure why I give the exact date and time of these episodes. I don't know, maybe it's so that maybe if I ever get caught up in a police investigation and they'll be like, you killed this guy at 11:10 a.m. on the 22nd of March 2025, I'd be like, hey man, listen, I was recording a podcast and in fact here it is. And so they listen to the podcast and I'm like, oh, he said the timestamp. He said the timestamp, so he must be let go. Alright, here's the list of episodes. Let's count. Let's learn how to count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, so then episode number 24. 2 dozen episodes of the podcast. Why is it called a baker's dozen? 13 things. Why is it called baker's dozens? Why are 13 things called baker's dozen? Let's look it up. Okay, according to Wikipedia, some bakers included an extra unit to be sure the minimum weight was met. Bakers who sold a dozen units that failed to meet a weight requirement could be penalized with a fine. Okay. I mean, I would have done it by count. Because a dozen things is 12. So why would the weight matter? I guess 12 loaves of bread that weighed 500 grams each would be more bread than 12 loaves that weigh 100 grams each. What if he hollowed out the inside? So I guess that's why they have a weight limit. How much does a loaf of bread weigh in grams? A standard loaf of bread must weigh at least 400 grams. Okay. 400 into 12. So 4.8 kilos. And then if it was 13, it would be 5.2 kilos. Okay, that's 400 grams is a lot of bread. Those bakers were generous with those baker's dozens. I would not have done that. I would have been like, listen man, a dozen is 12. I've given you 12 pieces of bread. Now, fuck off. I wouldn't say like that. You gotta like treat the customer with dignity and respect and blah 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 blah. Who cares? Who cares? Chat, let me know if you care. Let me know if you care if your baker tells you to fuck off. Alright? Leave a comment down below. Don't leave a comment on Spotify because I can't see them. I've turns out I've been getting comments on Spotify for the past couple episodes, but I can't see them. So for whatever reason, Spotify doesn't let me see comments in India. It's like a regional thing. Like here, it shows me the button. It shows me the button to look at comments, and so I click on the comments button, and then it loads. Comments unavailable. You don't have access to comments, and likely because we don't support comments in your region. So again, why give me the button? Why let my audience leave comments on the podcast? You know? It's weird, man. It's weird. I don't like it. I don't like it. Spotify, if you're listening, give me back my comment. Give me back my polls too. I like setting the polls for each episode. Even though like no one voted on them, I like setting the poll. So yeah. Okay, well anyways, what have I been up to this week? Not much. Not well, actually, I don't know why I said that. I have been doing a lot this week, surprisingly. Let's see. Where do I begin? I went out and I bought an appliance, a water dispenser, a higher water dispenser, higher as in like HAIER. How do you pronounce that? How to pronounce higher? Higher. Higher. Okay, whatever. I guess the R is silent. Higher. Nope. Okay, in English, American English, sorry. It is, the R is voiced higher. So I guess that's what I've been saying. Higher. Okay, anyways. So I got a higher water dispenser. It's one of those things where like you get a, what is it, 20 liters, I believe? 20-liter water can. Yeah, you get a 20-liter water can, and you kind of stick it in the top, and then the water flows out of the can, and there's like a filtration system thingy inside the dispenser, and then there's a cooler as well, like a water cooler, and then you push a button and it dispenses the water. So you got one of those. I went over to the appliance store. I love the appliance store, dude. I don't know about you. I could spend hours in there, just kind of running around, touching, tinkering with all the gadgets that they have. It's fun. It's fun. This one that I went to, they had like a what do you call it? Like a home theater demo setup thingy. Unfortunately, they didn't allow me inside. They're only like, oh, serious customers only, please. And they could tell I was not a serious customer. All right. So they didn't let me in, but I did catch a glimpse from outside. It did look straight up like a movie theater, but small. It had like 4 seats. 4 seats, big ass screen. You had the speakers on both sides. Dark, very dimly lit room. Maybe the lights were just off. I guess if you're watching movies, you would need like a dark room, regardless of screen size. For the best experience, you would need a dark room. Anyways, So yeah, I pulled up to the electronics store. I walked in, and I knew I could see from the outside the windows. I could see that the water dispensers were on the first floor. Okay, I gotta say real quick, the correct way to number floors is you do ground floor, then first floor, second floor, third floor, right? Because the ground floor, that is the floor on the ground, right? Right? I don't know where the hell this thing started, where people would call the ground floor, sorry about that, where people would call the ground floor the first floor. I don't know where that started, but I do know where it ends. It ends now. We are starting a revolution. If you are listening to this episode of the Not Tuah podcast, spread the word. You know, ground floor, not first floor. We gotta come up with a hashtag. First place gets grounded? No. Ground the first. Hashtag. 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 Whatever. We can come up with a hashtag later. I'm just saying, we gotta start the movement now, right? We gotta get people to use ground floor instead of first floor. Okay? It's just clearer that way. Okay, anyways. So I could see from the outside that the water dispensers were on the first floor. And I walked into the building on the ground floor. I walked into the building, and I was just like looking around for the stairs. And the stairs were like tucked away in a corner for some reason. But I was looking around for the stairs, and I looked absolutely fucking clueless. So not a good. Sorry about that. I accidentally hit the mic stand. I apologize if that like hurt your ears or something. I truly did not intend for that to happen. Okay. Anyways, so I went. I walked into the building. I was looking for the stairs, and an employee walked up to me and he was like, "Hi sir, can I help you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for the stairs because I need to go to the first floor." And he was like, "Oh, stairs? What are you looking for?" And I told him like, "Okay, well I already told you I'm looking for the stairs, but I guess if you want more detail, I'm looking for water dispensers." I didn't say that. I thought that, but I just told him I'm looking for water dispensers. So I told him water dispensers. He was like, "Oh, water dispensers. You gotta go up to the second floor." Yeah, he said second floor. He said second floor, so he was the first floor, second floor believer. Which I'm not. Ground floor, first floor. Okay? But the whole building did only have 2 floors, so there was like no confusion there. Like I knew he meant the floor above us. So I was like, "Yeah, okay, I know. I just need to find the stairs." And so he pointed me toward the stairs, and I was like, "Okay, thank you." And then I went up. Went up, got to the second floor, got to the water dispenser, and then I was like, these all look kind of the same. Which, to be fair, the water dispenser, not a very difficult object to manufacture. You know? You get a big plastic box, you get a filter, you get a cooler, you get some pipes, bada bing bada boom, there we go. There's really not much innovation to be had in the world of water dispensers. But whatever. So I got there and then I called my mom and I was like, "Hey, bestie, these all look kind of the same. Which one am I supposed to get?" And so there were two brands there. There was Higher and there was a Blue Star. We already had Blue Star, and Blue Star was the one that broke. So we were like, you know what? Let's not get Blue Star. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's get the Higher. And so the Higher, there were two models of the Higher there. One was white, one was black. They were both the exact same model actually. It was just the different colors that they offered, white and black. So I flagged on an employee and I was like, "Hey guy, I would like to buy this thing over here." And so I pointed in the direction of the water dispenser. I didn't point at a particular one. So I was like, "Hi, I would like to buy this water dispenser." And he said, "Okay, sir, which one, white or black?" And I was like, I don't know, man. I guess either one. And then he was like, "Oh, but sir, the white one costs a little bit less than the black one." And I was like, "Huh? Why? They're the exact same item. They just have different colors." But I guess it's different because it's the white one is cheaper because like you can see the dirt more easily. So you gotta pay extra attention to like cleaning it and shit. So we ended up getting the black one. Um, all in all, I think I paid 8,500 rupees for the water dispenser. That was including the discount, by the way. Before the discount, it was like 10k. Yeah, it was like 10, maybe almost 11k. But then we got the discount. Hashtag baller. Hashtag lifestyle. Hashtag rich gang. Hashtag flex. Um, so we got the black one, and then we headed over to like settle the bill, as the kids say. And so he like asked me like, "Oh, what's your name? What's your phone number? What's your address? Blah blah blah. Shit to put on the bill." And then we got and then he was like, "Okay, yeah, so we will deliver it at a time that we see fit." And I was like, "Okay." Um, so then they delivered it the next day at like 10 a.m. or maybe 11 a.m. It was in the morning, early in the morning, early, it's fucking 11 a.m. So they came, they delivered it, and then the delivery guy asked to buy some of our outdoor furniture. We have like a little table and chair kind of set that we keep outside in the veranda, as the kids call it. And the delivery guy wanted to buy our chairs, not the table. Well, he wanted to buy the table as well, I think. But he seemed particularly interested in the chairs. And they're nothing special. They're just like cheapo, random ass plastic chairs. So I don't know. I don't know why he was so interested in them. But yeah, so the water dispenser works. You'd hope so. It's no complaints so far. It it cools. It cools very cool. Um, chilling, kind of cold to the touch. You'd hope so again. I haven't tried the heating mode because I don't want to drink hot water. I'm not particularly interested in drinking hot water. When it's like fucking 30 something degrees outside. Let's check the weather. Let's check the weather. Yeah, it's wow, fucking spot on 30 degrees. Um, yeah, so I guess that's it with my water dispenser purchasing experience. Oh, the warranty card. They didn't sign the warranty card because the warranty card was in the like product manual that was in the box with the water dispenser. They didn't sign the warranty manual. So I'm hoping if this bit breaks, that my bill that I that shows when I purchased it, I hope that'll be enough to claim warranty, because we have warranty for up to a year. So presumably the date on the bill works um, to check like when I bought the item. Again, you'd hope so, surely. And then another thing that I've been doing this week, my neighbor recently had his bike stolen, right? And he doesn't have a CCTV camera, but we do. So he wanted us to like help him out, give him the CCTV footage of his bike being stolen, so he could like I don't know track down the guy Batman style. So we were like, yeah, okay, anything to help a person in need, I guess. So he sent my cousin over because he's friends with my cousin apparently. He's friends with fucking everyone in my family. I'm the only one who doesn't know this guy apparently. But yeah, he sent my cousin over, and my cousin was like, okay, let's take a video of the CCTV footage. You play the footage. I'll take a video with my phone, and then we'll just go and give it to that guy. So I'm like, okay, cool. What time was the bike stolen? What video do I need to take? And he's like, oh, the bike was stolen somewhere between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. And I was like, huh? You wanna sit here and record 3 hours of footage? And he's like, no, we'll fast forward it. We'll fast forward it. And so we fast forwarded it, and it went up to 8 times speed. But at 8 times speed, it was like skipping for some reason, skipping like 5 seconds at a time. And the area that the CCTV camera covered, you could enter and exit the frame within that 5 second window. And so we were like, okay, well, shit, even if we do see the guy with the bike, you know, or even if the guy with the bike did like cross this area, we wouldn't know. Because he could enter and exit the frame in 5 seconds. So we're like, okay, fine, backup plan. Let's get the recordings off of the CCTV system, and then we'll hand the video, the full 3 hour segment. We can hand that over to the guy whose bike got stolen, and he can sit there and watch the whole thing, look out for his bike and shit. So we tried doing that, but we couldn't. We couldn't figure it out. We like looked up tutorials on YouTube. Every single tutorial had like a different menu interface. None of them were consistent. So we were like, okay, shit, we can't get it out. So I was like, okay, fine. Next plan. If you bring like a USB, then maybe I can transfer the files to a USB. Because right now you're trying to transfer it to our phones. But I'm like, okay, if you get me a USB drive, I can transfer the file to the USB drive. So you're like, okay, I'll go ask this neighbor guy. I'll go ask him for a USB drive. So he went over, he got the USB drive, he came back. USB drive was of the wrong format. The CCTV system only accepted FAT32, and the USB that we had was exFAT. With having done some further reading after this incident, apparently exFAT and FAT32 are compatible with each other. So I don't know why the CCTV system didn't recognize an exFAT USB drive, but it didn't. And so I tried formatting the USB to be FAT32. Did not work. It said apparently you can only format up to 32 gigabytes in a FAT32 format, but the USB that we had was 64 gigabytes. And so, sort of like partitioning the USB into two 32 gigabyte halves and then formatting one of them to be FAT32, we couldn't do anything. And I didn't want to do that because I am low key, I'm kind of clueless when it comes to that stuff. And also, I didn't want to fuck up this guy's USB drive, right? So I told my cousin, like, okay, hey man, the USB is not working, it's not compatible with the system. And he's like, alright, I'll tell him. So the guy was like, okay, fine. I guess I'll come over and I'll sit there and I'll watch 3 hours of CCTV footage. And so he came over. He brought with him the guy who installed our CCTV cameras. Apparently he does like CCTV for the whole neighborhood. And so he brought the guy over and he was like, hey man, get the fucking recording off of this thing. And the guy who installed it tried, and he couldn't figure out how to get the footage off of the system. So he's like, sorry man, you're gonna have to sit here for 3 hours. So he left, and then he came back again, the guy whose bike got stolen. He came back again a couple hours later, this time with my uncle. Like I said, fucking everyone but me knows this guy apparently. So he came back with my uncle. I don't know what my uncle was supposed to do. He's about as clueless as me, if not maybe even more clueless, low key. You know? But yeah, he tried clicking around on shit. He couldn't figure it out, so he's like, yeah man, sorry, you're gonna have to sit here and watch 3 hours of footage. And so that's what he did. He pulled up at 9 p.m. last night. 9 p.m. Because apparently he talked to my dad. Remember, everyone knows this guy except me. He talked to my dad, and my dad was like, yeah, he'll probably be busy during the day. You should go at night. Bitch. 9 p.m. though? 9 p.m. And for all I knew, he had to watch 3 hours of footage, so he would be here till midnight. But I was like, okay, fuck, let's just fucking get this over with. I don't want to deal with this bitch no more. Let's get it fucking over with. So yeah, he came in, he sat down, and he started watching the fucking video. I was on a different couch, I was on a different sofa, and I was like scrolling my phone. I was on that Reddit, I was on that TikTok, I was on that Discord, type shit. And so he sat there. This fucking guy, the window of time was 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Right? And just my fucking luck, the bike was stolen at 11:53 a.m. So he did basically just sit there for 3 hours. I sat there for 3 hours with him. But like obviously I couldn't just leave him to his own devices and then retire to my room. So we sat there for fucking 3 hours, basically. And the fucking worst part about it, the guy who stole the bike, he was wearing a helmet, so you couldn't even identify him. All that time wasted. What a shame. What a shame. Not that I was gonna do anything with that time, but I'd still rather have had the time and waste it than not have the time and waste it, you know? So yeah, that's my CCTV footage escapade. I might just fucking take those cameras down, man. I don't want to deal with this again. Or at least like update the firmware, update the like software of the computer that's recording shit. Make it easier. to like take stuff out. You know? Okay, all that being said, let's get into the topic this week. 30 minutes into the episode, let's get into the topic. Um, okay, the first topic I want to discuss is a new fad sweeping the tech industry as of late. It's called vibe coding. Vibe coding. Um, so let me give you my definition of what vibe coding is, and then I'll read Wikipedia definition of what vibe coding is. I'm just going to read the Wikipedia article here basically. So vibe coding, from what I can gather, it's like just a fancy term for like telling ChatGPT to do shit. So you pull up to ChatGPT and you're like, hey man, um, write this program for me, and then ChatGPT writes the program, and then you accept its output based on vibe. You're like, the vibe that I'm getting from this program is that it's gonna work, so I'm gonna approve it. Like, there's no testing or anything. It's completely based on a vibe. And again, I know I said I'm a very vibes influenced person, but like this feels kind of weird, you know? Okay, let's read Wikipedia. Vibe coding is an AI dependent programming technique where a person describes a problem in a few sentences as a prompt to a large language model tuned for coding. The LLM generates software, shifting the programmer's role from manual coding to guiding, testing, and refining the AI generated source code. Vibe coding is claimed by its advocates to allow even amateur programmers to produce software without the extensive training and skills previously required by software engineering. The term was introduced by Andrei Karpathy in February 2025 and listed in the Merriam-Webster dictionary the following month as a slang and trending noun. Computer scientist Andrei Karpathy, a co-founder of OpenAI and former AI leader at Tesla, introduced the term vibe coding in 2025. It's not really coding. I just see things, say things, run things, and copy paste things, and it mostly works, says Karpathy. God, no wonder they fucking recalled every Tesla. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's rough. Like I'll be the first to admit I have used like AI. I have used ChatGPT to write code for me before. Um, but like I don't know, make writing a whole fucking program start to finish with ChatGPT. It's it's like, there's not even really like, okay, with AI art and shit, you do have the moral stance against it, where it's being trained on like copyrighted works and shit. But uh, LLMs generated for coding, a lot of them are trained on open source programs, so there is no like copyright infringement going on there. And again, there's also the thing where like vibe coding does kind of work sometimes. Like again, like I said, I have used ChatGPT to generate some code here and there. Not all of it, not all of it. Okay, my fucking programming accomplishments, 99.99% of them are my own. I probably use ChatGPT to write one or two functions here and there. And like, who hasn't used? It's unfortunate to say, but everyone has used a chat GPT. Everyone has used an LLM. Um, okay, maybe not everyone, but like a vast majority of people have. And I I can kind of see the value of having something like GitHub Copilot. I can see the value of having something like that when you're programming. I guess my objection mostly is a full like application start to finish. I guess nowadays with computers being so powerful, you don't really need to optimize programs that much. You should. To clarify, you should optimize your programs because there's some fucking idiots out there like me running on 10-year-old hardware trying to run the latest and greatest programs. So you should be optimizing your software. But like realistically, there isn't much of a need to. You know? Okay, look, I don't think this is doom and gloom. I think this is a fad. Um, the term vibe coding is probably gonna fall off in the near future, but I think vibe coding is gonna have like a bit of an impact in how the software engineering field as a whole works for the time being. You know, and I feel like despite what you think of AI, despite what you think of large language models, despite what you think of AI art generators, I feel like there's no way around it. You're gonna have to get acquainted with these tools sooner or later. Yeah, again, if you're gonna work in a field that would demand the use of them, you're gonna have to get acquainted with the softwares and the tools there. So yeah, it's rough times out there, man. Rough times. Speaking of working, I recently saw a documentary that was about like kind of the behind the scenes of uh, Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show, right? And I just thought it was super interesting how they like um, kind of set up the stage. They have to set up the stage and tear it down in less than 8 minutes. So they have 8 minutes to set up the show, and then they perform the show, and then they have 8 minutes to completely take down the show and make it like ready for the game to continue. Because at the end of the day, it is still a sporting event. They just have a concert in the middle of it. Um, so that was like really impressive. I feel they had like 1,000 people volunteering for the whole thing, and like several hundred people just purely dedicated to getting the stuff out on the field and then taking it back inside the stadium. That's crazy. And I feel like I would kind of like to work in an environment like that because the logistics of it all, the planning, the coordination, it's all very impressive. It's all very impressive, and I would like to work in. Okay, I won't. I don't know about making a career out of it. I would like to volunteer. How about that? I would like to volunteer in running an event like that, maybe for like a weekend. Kind of show up and help out a little bit. Um, and I wish there was like an accurate simulator out there, but every time I Google like concert behind the scenes live event simulator type shit, um, it just shows me like tycoon games. But I'm not looking for tycoon games, not right now. I want to be like a stagehand kind of deal, or like a show director. That has to be a thing, right? Director simulator? Maybe I just haven't been using the right search terms. director simulator. Oh, there is. Wait. Oh, it's a porn game. God damn it. There's nothing director about this at all. And it's a rhythm game. It's a porn rhythm game. What are the reviews like? Reviews. They all seem pretty positive. Huh? Okay, never mind. Maybe it's not all porn because there's gore. There's an ending where one of the characters assaults you, slowly hunts you down, and slits your throat. Alright, man. People into some freaky shit. No judging, no king shaming on this podcast. That's crazy though, low-key. Okay. Yeah, so again, like I said, I would like to volunteer for like a weekend here and there. Just like helping out, setting up a live event. Maybe I'll see if I can volunteer at Comic Con this year. Hang on, let me look that up. A lot of looking stuff up on this podcast. How to volunteer for Comic Con India. Terms and conditions, let's see. No? Reporting time is 7:30 a.m. Maybe I don't want to volunteer. 7:30 a.m. Application will only be accepted through registration form. This should only apply if they can commit to both days of the convention. No monetary compensation shall be provided. That's kind of weird. Like, I know they're called volunteers, but they are giving up quite a lot of time. Applicants should be 18 years of age or above. No transportation shall be provided. That is kind of weird as well. Shit, so do I want to volunteer then? Okay, let's take a look at one of the registration forms. First name, last name, email, phone number, address, age. Have you volunteered before? I have not. Preferred job role. Okay. Okay, so preferred job role. We have welcoming, ticketing and entry area management, media desk, research, cosplay registration, cost buddies, cosplay medic, security and operations, social media sales, international guest management, Indian celebrity management, damage control, stage, client servicing, assistant to photographs, assistant to videographers, CCI office and store, AV setup, food and beverages. I guess my preferred roles would be ticketing and entry area, and then I don't know, maybe AV setup, but do I know enough to do AV setup? I guess not. So maybe ticketing and entry management, and then maybe the media desk. I think the media desk is just like handling reporters and shit, people that come to do reports. I could do cosplay registration, that would be fun. Seeing all the fun cosplays that they have. That would be fun, I guess. Oh, okay, let's check this Reddit. Anyone here who volunteered for Bangalore Comic Con, how was your experience? I did volunteer back in 2016. They divided into different teams. I was in the welcoming team, so I also put at the entrance, blah, blah, blah. Organizers were great. There wasn't any toxicity. Volunteering was indeed exhausting. They were giving us Red Bulls for free. I like free shit. Got some goodies. We were invited to a Halloween party. They had also organized the Game of Thrones Season 6 premiere in a pub. That's fun. If you're a Game of Thrones fan. At the end, you get a lot of stuff for very cheap. You got a comic book, a sling bag, a zipper, like a bottle, I guess, a notebook, posters, etc. Okay, that sounds fun. Maybe I'll think about it. Maybe I'll volunteer for Comic Con this year. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? All right. 46 minutes. I have time for one more topic. This is my fucking podcast. You can't tell me when to stop. So I'm gonna talk about Persona here. You guys can fucking click off if you want to. I know not everyone likes Persona. I'm thinking of one audience member in particular here. So there's a rumor going around that they're about to announce the Persona 4 remake because they registered the p4re.jp website, and like last year or the year before that maybe they registered p3re.jp, and so p3re was Persona 3 Reload. So p4re might be Persona 4 Remake or whatever, right? Persona 4 Remake. And so after they registered the website, then like a couple months later they announced the Persona 3 remake. So now I'm like, shit, are they gonna announce a Persona 4 remake now? When I just got gifted Persona 4 Golden. Shout out to Lenny. Thank you very much. Looking forward to playing the game. But yeah, I just got Persona 4 Golden, and they're gonna announce a remake of Persona 4. Kinda fucked up. But I don't know, actually, I will say the remake of Persona 3, Persona 3 Reload, it does have some some things missing. Like for example, the epilogue, they turned that into a DLC. They turned the epilogue into a DLC, and then there was also a female character, like female main character option, and they removed that in the remake, which is a fucking bold option. I'll tell you that. Just completely get rid of the female character option in the year 2024. Crazy. So I don't know, and even then, like, I'm about to finish Persona 3 Reload. I'm definitely gonna finish it within the next month, presumably. But I guess it depends, because a little bit of spoiler here for Persona. I'm technically in the last dungeon of Persona 3, but I know that the epilogue takes place 3 months later, or 2 months later, I guess. So now I'm like, do I have to play through the remaining 2 months? Or is there a time skip? Because in Persona 5 there was a time skip. Again, spoilers, I guess. Minor spoilers, technically, but whatever. So in Persona 5 there was a time skip. Is there going to be a time skip in Persona 3? I don't know. If there is a time skip in Persona 3, I'm like, maybe 5 or 6 hours away from ending the game. And if there is no time skip, then it's gonna take me a while to get through the last 2 months. I don't know, I guess we'll find out. I guess we shall find out. But yeah, so like, anyways, even then, if they do announce a Persona 4 remake, it's still gonna be a couple months at least until it gets released. So at that point, I might as well play Persona 4 Golden. Right? Right. Yeah, and also Persona 4 Golden has like mod support, so I can do QOL, quality of life changes. I did look into it. Apparently, there's like a recommended list of mods on the Persona subreddit, so I'll probably use those. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. I've heard good things about Persona 4. People say it's better than Persona 3, which I already think Persona 3 is pretty good. There's just some issues with the pacing, like near the end of the game. Some issues with pacing. But yeah, I've heard good things about Persona 4. Excited to play it. Um, I own the game on Steam, so I don't have to pay my monthly Game Pass subscriptions anymore. That was fucking stressful. 500 rupees every month. I'm like, shit. I'm about to go in debt over this. I could have bought Persona 3 with the amount of money that I spent on Game Pass, but because I use Game Pass, I also got to play Balatro. So it really is a lose-lose situation here. Balatro is that game will fuck you dry, bro. I've been playing a lot of Balatro still, even since last week's episode. I'm still trying. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode, but I'm still trying to unlock that like super OP deck that you only get by playing on the hard, on the difficult deck. Uh, Hopefully one day I get it. You know, one can only pray, I suppose. Alright, 52 minutes, 9 seconds. I guess this is as good a time as any to call it. Fuck, I gotta record like another 3 episodes of the podcast. Because my parents are coming over, my familia is coming over. And they're coming over for 3 weeks, so I gotta record 3 episodes of the podcast. And I don't know, man. I don't know. But like, I don't have anything to talk about. The last time my father came over to India, I only had to record 1 episode in advance, because the other episode was the media review episode. And so that one, I didn't have much to think about there. But now, these are supposed to be 3 normal-ish episodes of the podcast. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a tier list or something. I don't know. Or maybe I just won't. Okay, I'll try. I'll try recording 3 episodes later, and if they're good, I'll release them. If they're bad, I won't release them. How about that? I'll take a little hiatus on the Not Tuah podcast. So I guess we'll see. How that pans out. So yeah, okay. This has been episode number 24 of the Not Tuah podcast. That is Not Tuah, Nottuah. I have no affiliation with Haley Welch or the Talk Tuah podcast team. I've been your host, and I'll see you all next time, whether that is next week or in 3 weeks. Who knows? Certainly not me. Bye bye, everybody.